All right. Who makes the better spy? Is it the golf caddy or the golf? No, the job shadower. So I went to shadow last month the radiography team. And this month I went to shadow the respiratory therapist. And then next month I'm going to shadow the surgical techs. And as I was there, I thought to myself, there's no difference between doing this and a golfer's caddy. They're literally shadowing the golfer all day long, and they know, what golf clubs to recommend. They can tell you what mood they're in, if they're ready to use the bathroom or not. Sometimes they're, scheduling or changing, making changes to their schedules so they can get out of there on time, depending on whether they lose or not. And they get such an inside view of what's going on. I mean, you want to know the skinny, all the juicy details. What better person to ask or to observe than a golfer's caddy? And if you want to know what's going on with a job, go and shadow them. I'm telling you, you will not get all the juicy details in the interview. Skip the interview. Why apply for anything? Anything at all. I don't care what it is. When you're sitting around waiting on an interview, or even if you have a shoe in, right? You have a shoe in, uh, it's almost guaranteed, right? Or definitely guaranteed. You're still really not going to know what's going on if you don't shadow, unless you own the company. That's a different story. But if you really want to know what's going on, I would suggest you shadow. And anyone can get access to shadowing. Every state has it. I did it in the medical field. I'm pretty sure there is a hospital in your state somewhere that will allow you to shadow whatever interest that you have. And if you go on the hospital websites and you type in job shadowing or observing, or even just a search engine on your computer, or your mobile device, you have it right there in the palm of your hands. Just go ahead and put it in a search engine, job shadowing or observing, and a hospital near me, and then see if they have those type of services. And it does not have to be, if you do it, let's say for a hospital, but let's say I did not do anything with medical, but I am in IT. you know, you can shadow the IT engineer, the software engineer at the hospital. It doesn't have to be in medical, it could be human resources, it could be environmental services, it could be, I forgot what they call the people that, I think it's medical device engineers, the ones that fix the medical devices that actually hook up to our bodies. Someone has to fix those. Someone has to recharge those. Someone has to replace those. Someone has to come and sell them, right? There are salespeople, sell them to the hospital. So there's so many different roles in the hospital. It doesn't have to be a hospital. If you have a law firm that you have your sights set on, go ahead and call them up and see if they'll let you shadow. I just had a friend of mine tell me that, about, mortuary school. Go ahead and call up your local, um, I forgot you know what I mean, mortuary, oh my goodness, what is it called? Bodies, funerals. Oh my goodness, it's on the tip of my tongue. If you guys can remember that, how do I not know? Funeral home. Go ahead and call them up and ask them if you could shadow. If you're into plumbing and electrical, go ahead and call up your local electrical company and plumbing company to see if you can shadow. I am telling you, you will see all the juicy dirt that they are trying to hide from you in the interview. The interview is really politically correct. It's really sweet. It's really nice. They are drilling you. getting to know who you are. It's extremely competitive, right? They have other people that have applied for the same position. And remember, the job posting and the job description are not the same thing. I learned that from another YouTuber. I'm not going to say their name because I did not get permission to say their name on this channel, but they are not going to tell you everything in that job posting. That job posting is for advertising, marketing purposes. They are meant to suck you in. They're meant to get you to click on that thing and apply. And they're also meant to steer the people that they don't want there away because the wording is extremely purposeful and intentional. So, but with the job shadowing, it's doesn't cost them anything because they are not paying you and you are not getting paid. And of course, where you're volunteering your time, people love that. Oh, you want to volunteer? Absolutely. You want to come to our company and see what we're doing and we don't have to pay you? Companies love that. And I know a lot of people do not want to invest their time into anything where they're not going to get paid, but I'm telling you, skip the thank me later. It will be one of the best things you ever do. I would say skip the internship as well because sometimes the internships are paid or they're not paid, and you're spending your entire summer hoping that you will get, right? This is the hopes, right? Get them to choose you, but that's an entire summer. And you might be there for 2 weeks. You've already committed to an entire summer worth of an internship where you may not be getting paid or you may be getting paid. You may know it ahead of time. Yes, I understand that. So if you're not getting paid, you're committed and you're hoping the hope is to get hired on. But again, you really don't know what you're getting into. But if you go to job shadowing and you shadow that particular profession for an entire day of what they're doing and what they're not doing, you'll get a full picture of what you're signing up for. Now, the reason why I had to do the job shadowing is because I'm applying for a medical program. And so, in order for me to apply for the medical program at the university, I have to have so many hours. And so, I won't be just shadowing just one day, it'll be 3 days because they need so many hours. And let me tell you, that was the best thing that program ever did because sometimes just shadowing one day is not enough because something interesting happens the next day that didn't happen the previous day. And certain programs, for instance, the surgical tech program, you have to shadow 3 consecutive days. Whereas the radiography program, they allowed me to shadow a couple of days this week and then finish out on the Monday of the next week. So that was amazing. You also got to know the type of personalities. There are different personalities that are attached to different professions. And once you go in, you might thinking, "Oh, this is just this person." Or this department, and then you're starting to realize there's a pattern here. It's the entire profession, or it may not be the entire profession. It may just be this department. You won't, I promise you, you are not going to get that in an interview. And if you do even ask that question, they're going to tiptoe around it. Some might even get offended that you're trying to get all this stuff up front and then turn the interview on you, turn it around and start attacking you and make it seem like they're not attacking you, but they are asking you innocent questions or questions that may seem innocent. So companies do not like you delving in their dirty laundry, but boy, do they love to delve in yours. So this is a great way for you to do that. And let me tell you, there's no difference with a job shadow and a caddy. A caddy is there with the golfer. They're not only watching the golfer, they're also listening to the golfer. Every step they make, every move they make, every breath they take, they are supposed to be in tune with the golfer. They do not have the luxury of just, you know, turning around and just paying attention to the spectators, or just, hey, I'm just going to lunch. I'll see you later. They don't have that luxury. They are there the from the moment the golfer hits ground to the moment the golfer is ready to leave that golf course. And they are privy to every imperceptible movement and every heavy breath and sigh, every annoyance and frustration, and every momentum, or even better, the moment before the momentum. All the tiny steps that led up to this momentum. You ask a golf caddy about what was the turning point to this excellent momentum that made them win this championship or this trophy or this tournament. They will tell you it was probably two or three steps ahead of that, or a combination of those. You ask a spectator, they'll tell you, oh, the moment that changed everything for this golfer was this. But the caddy knows better that things don't just happen in a split of a second. There's a lot of micro moves that led up to that point. And if you really want to know a golfer's secrets, you can interview the caddy, because they'll let you know. And that's why I said, do you think they'll make a good spy? I mean, isn't that what they're doing? They're literally there to spy on the golfer. I mean, oh my gosh. And so on the last video that I did, or it might have been the video before that, I talked about the amount of money the caddy makes. They get a couple $1,000. Well, let me back that up. They get money to cover their expenses during the week, whether it's a couple of thousands or more than that. That's between the golfer and the caddy. The point is, it is enough to cover their expenses weekly. And then, of course, their earnings, when the golfer wins, they get about 7 to 10% of that. So remember, they're fully invested in this thing. So, in order for them to make sure, I would say, that they get their 7 to 10%, they've got to be all in, they've got to be locked in. So they've got to know ahead of time, what golf club they're going to use in this next section. Should you the suggestion that you're going to make to the golfer, is it going to be the correct one? Does the golfer want you to walk ahead of him, beside him, behind him, or her? Excuse me. Or do this time they just want you to leave them alone and let them breathe? They don't want you suggesting what golf club they want. They just want to go in there and pick it out. And do you need to back up and give them room, or are you going to be annoyed, being in their way, trying to suggest certain things? So you're a therapist, right? You're a mind reader. You are so much more. And that is a wealth of information. If someone wanted to know all the juicy gossip of what's going on with a golfer, all they had to do was interview the caddy. And it's the same thing when you shadow someone. You want to know what's really going on in that profession. Skip the interview. Just go straight. Skip the interview. Skip the application process. Go straight to the job shadowing department and ask them if you can at least do 20 hours minimum, not 8 hours, not 16 hours, 20 hours. By that third day, they are going to be annoyed with you shadowing them, because remember, you are not part of the team. They And then at the first day, they're excited. Oh, wow, so you're interested in this profession? Okay, great. You know, the second day, they're less excited, but they're a little bit more themselves. The third day, they're ready to get rid of you, and that's when you'll really see who they are. You'll really see what's going on at the company. You see the good, the bad, the ugly, and the fantastic. I promise you, you're not going to get that in an interview. In an interview, they are there to protect the company. They are there to make sure that the company is seen in the best light possible, and they are there to use politically correct terms. They are there to sell you everything that's wonderful and great. They're probably even there to assess you to see if they can lowball you off of that job offer. If they're going to offer it to you, they're there to see if you are going to be a negotiator, if they're going to have to, pay you the full scope of what this job offers. I mean, you're not going to get what you need from the interview. Thank me later, trust me. Go do the job shadow, and then you can see what's really going on there. There are times when I did 20 hours of job shadowing last month and then 20 hours of job shadowing this month. There are times when I had a question and I did not need to ask it because all I had to do was keep my mouth shut and watch. I could see the culture of the workplace and the specific department, the dynamics between the employees and the contractors and the management and the upper management. I mean, it was so eye opening, and you will have a better idea if this is a place that you actually want to get up in the morning and come to work with every day. Do you want to work with these people? Do you want to represent this company? Do you want to do this specific job? And do you want to grow with this company? Do you want to uh, take it further and be an entrepreneur? Do you want to invest in their stocks? An interview is not going to give you that. I don't care how much, how wonderful your interview went. I don't care how much research you did on the web. I don't care how much you have a shoe in and someone is giving you, telling you all the skinny over the phone or in person because they work there. It's not the same when you are there interacting with those people, imagining what you're going to be doing if you were to work at that company. I promise you, there is no other experience than that. It is gold, and it's a gold mine, and it's something that you cannot get in an interview. You cannot get that anywhere else. So let me know who's going to be the best spy. Is it the job shadow or is it the golfer's caddy? And do you think me bridging the gap between the two, do you think that I did an okay job? I don't think I did a great job. I just think I did an okay job. But if you think I did a bad job, put bad in the comments and then tell me why. But I really do believe that they really do have a lot in common. And then I know you might think, well, why are you talking about this? This is kind of weird, right? Well, on this channel, I talk about my life from a neurodivergent perspective. It's the Bumblebees channel. And I really don't know anybody, any neurotypicals that I can have this conversation with. They're probably going to think this is really silly and kind of weird, right? And so what I do is I try to put all of those silly, weird little things, or little quirky things in my neurodivergent experience in my everyday life, and then I bring them out here to you guys, and hopefully someone can find it useful. Okay. I'm obsessed with the job shadowing so far. I know I've been talking about doing the Queen's Gambit review. I've been hyper focused on Full Swing, Netflix Full Swing. And then I took a break from that to talk to you about the job shadowing today. But yes, the Queen Gambit's review, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I know I keep talking about it, but yes, it's definitely coming because you guys know I love, 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 love chess. I do believe that chess and golfers have a lot in common. I also believe that I think it's really weird that we refer to chess people as being neurodivergent and geniuses and mad scientists and really smart. And, you have to have a certain type of IQ, and that type of person is more on the spectrum. And then we use these chess references in golf saying that it's a game of the game of golf is more like a chess player. You have to have so many moves ahead. You have to study your opponent. They compare it to chess, but they are very scared of connecting the words neurodivergent to golf. Have you guys noticed that? Is that just me? I've noticed that. I've noticed that they stray away from that, which is bizarre. Maybe I ought to do a video about that. If you think I ought to do a video about that, put video in the comments to let me know if I should do a video about that. Okay, this is the Bumblebees channel, my neurodivergent perspective on things that I love, like golfing and chess, and just telling you about what's going on with my life, like Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and now job shadowing. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.